Good evening, football shirt fans, and I guess Chelsea football shirt fans, as I suspect that's what most of you are going to be. We went through the home shirts last week, and it's time for the away shirts. I'll try to make this one a little bit shorter because the other one did drag on a little bit. So we'll just jump into it, and we'll start with this 2001-2002 away shirt. It does go on to be the third shirt for the following season. So it was at a time when that wasn't too unsurprising, and many teams did sort of carry them across. But for this season, it was the away shirt. So on the back of this one, we have Zenden, of all the players. Quite clearly, I had some sort of interest in Dutch players, which still, to be honest, holds true. I had Hasselbank and then Zenden, and the next person you'll see is also Dutch. He wasn't exactly the most standout player for Chelsea. I don't think there'll be many Chelsea fans who will look back and think, yeah, he was, a club legend or an icon. But, he was just one of those guys. Plus, I like his longish hair. Small things, I guess. So that's that one. Next one is this one, which is, of course, the 2004-2005. So I'd missed a season or two. Obviously, at that point, I was still young, so I was reliant on my parents being able to afford to buy them. So I could only get, obviously, what they give me. This one was the, I want to say, second season of Abramovich. Was it second season? Yeah, I think it was the second season of Abramovich. And we ended up getting a young Ian Robben. Ian Robben, I mean, everyone knows who he is. He's one of the greatest wingers of the generation. And when he first came to Chelsea, he was remarkable. I've maybe never seen a player arrive and just be magic. Seeing him dribbling with the ball, it seemed like no one could catch him, no one could stop him. And in an alternative universe, he didn't get quite as injured as he did. He didn't transfer to Real Madrid, and he ended up being at Chelsea for, if not his entire career, longer than he did. He will be one of those players that I'll always look back and think, yeah, he was special, and I kind of enjoy that he was a Chelsea player, if so briefly. The next one, we're now Samsung sponsor, and it is this light blue shirt, and on the back of this one is Essien. Essien, of course, was brought in from Lyon, I believe, and it was one of those sort of first sort of big transfer stories that I sort of followed from beginning to the end. It took a while, if I remember correctly, it took a while for it to sort of finalise. When he arrived, he was something else. He was anything and everything you wanted him to be. I think he probably played in most positions at some point under all sorts of different managers. His ability to score ridiculous goals, the one against Arsenal, the one against Barcelona, he was truly a workhorse, and ultimately a really nice guy as well. So that was that one. This next one is this white shirt. Now I'm starting to grow, as you can see. I'm no longer in the children's sizes. And this shirt wasn't necessarily my favourite. This is, of course, the 2006-2007 shirt. But the person on the back, he was pretty special. So, Ballack. I think not only a cult hero for sort of Chelsea, I think he was a cult hero just in general in football. He's just one of those players that whenever you see, you just think, yes. He's always seemed to be smiling, an absolute leader, top class ability. The fact that we got him for free, that was pretty special. I did enjoy watching Ballack, and I quite enjoy that he still seems to be quite heavily involved with the club. At the very least, he's likes to show his support for the team, I guess, which is very nice. So, next season we have the 2008, 2007, 2008, should I say, sorry. And it's the bright, lime, luminous yellow option. I must have wore this shirt. I can't even imagine how many times I wore this shirt. Mainly because I like the sort of the bright colours. Um, it's crazy. I even bought the shorts for this, and I would I would go out with do a John Terry and just wear the full kit, and God knows what I would have looked like then. But yeah, could have seen me a mile away. So on the back we got Malouda. Malouda, one of those players which I think was kind of maybe is a bit underrated from maybe Chelsea fans or just fans in general. When he first came, he was pretty remarkable actually. His ability to sort of dribble and sort of score some goals, and his just general play was great. Towards the end of his career, he sort of became a bit of a bit part player, and I think they started forcing him to train with the under 21s or something like that. And it was a bit of a disrespectful way to treat a player who was good. I mean, we've had plenty of trash. I wouldn't classify Milliter as that at all. So that's that shirt. Next one is 2008 2009, and it's just a pure black option, and I really like this one. Really like this shirt. Very simple. And on the back, we have Carvalho again. So of course we had Carvalho on the home shirt from 2007 to 9. I think it was that one that's across. I think I remember I couldn't think of anybody to get, or I wanted somebody but they didn't have the letters, so it was like, oh, I'll take Carvalho then. Carvalho, of course, one of my favourite players, so there are worse players for me to get. The only issue I have with this is I feel like the letter spacing between the V and the A is just slightly off, so it looks like it says Carv Alha, which I suppose you're at the mercy of whoever's doing the printing. If it's somebody's first time and it doesn't look totally bad, they'll just let it slide. But other than that, really nice shirt. So then, 2009, 2010, we have this sort of horizontal beacon of joy, I guess. Yellow, starting to appear. And on the back, it's about time, but we have the king, we have Drogba. There's not really much I can say that every other Chelsea fan hasn't already said about this guy. He's going to go down as one of the greatest Chelsea players of all time. Whether or not you want to say he's the greatest, it's your personal preference. But he'll always be an icon, and just being able to own the shirt with his name on, it's pretty special. I'm so happy that he didn't just sort of transfer away and I never got a chance. It's a nice little shirt there. Orange. So this is his 2010, 2011 away shirt. We've got some more bright colours coming in here. We've got little vertical stripes. It sort of fades from one single into a sort of a triple stripe, sort of mirroring the Adidas, I guess. Of course, all orange logos across the board. And on the back, lamps. So it's another lamp shirt. I mean, it only makes sense. He's of course one of the other icons of the club. Managing the club at the moment. I remember before the last video I filmed, it was just before the Liverpool game. We lost. Of course, we've just played West Brom, which we managed to absolutely sort of nick a last-minute equaliser, which I did feel sorry for the West Brom, but you take what you can get. And of course, now I'm the night before Spurs game, so I'm not even going to say anything about that. I just hope Lamps gets a bit of leeway, because I feel like this season it could get quite nasty if things don't go perfect straight away. I just have a weird feeling in my stomach. So, next shirt. This one is the 2011-2012. You've got this lovely sort of, I won't use the word checkerboard, but sort of blue squared effect fade at the top. Really nice colours. I love the sort of the lighter blue. On the back is Fernando Torres. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like no matter which way you look at it, it was a kind of a flop, a fail. Um, he got a few goals, and yes, he scored against Barcelona, though not quite made a difference really. I wish things would have been better, especially for the money. Of course, it's not my money, yeah, but it's just how the club is. Um, but it just shows that you can buy a shirt with a name on the back, and you kind of hope it's going to go well, and it doesn't always pan out that way. Next season, we have the 2012-2013. This was a really nice shirt. In fact, I ended up getting this shirt twice. I got it firstly with Oscar, I think, on the back or something like that. Was it? Who did I get on the back? Can't remember actually, but it sort of got destroyed. So I ended up getting this one. Sort of replace it. It still has the tags. I've never even touched it. And it's got David Luiz in the back. This was his first stint at the club, and David Luiz he's one of those players that's you can't hate him, even if he's been involved in total, absolute farcical mistakes, involved in ridiculous losses, scored ridiculous own goals. You just look at his face and you just think, it's the geezer. Occasionally he would pop up and score a free kick. Occasionally he'd pop up and score a 35-yard worldie. And occasionally he would do some defending. Yeah, I do like David Luiz. He got a bit of stick, but he's a good lad. Next one is a player of a similar ilk, maybe. This is the 2013-14 season, and I love this shirt. I love the simplicity of it. Horizontal red, white, and blue stripe across the sort of chest area, I guess. Very simple. Love the blue sponsors. And on the back, we have Brana Ivanovic. Sort of, again, one of those players that towards the end of his time at Chelsea, he was getting a lot of stick. And rightly or wrongly, I feel like when it's a player who's given absolutely everything and has been top class, I feel a bit sick myself saying negative things about the player, and I don't think I did as much as some Chelsea fans did. Quite clearly, he'd lost some pace, and West Brom have just signed him. So I mean, good luck with that. But at his peak with Chelsea, he was remarkable. Could I say he's the best right back we've had? Maybe. I think it's possible. Some of the goals he scored, the sort of the clutch moments. It's for me he's top class. This next one, the 2014-15, is one of my favourite ones. I just love the yellow. I love the blue. It's got these little venty bits here. Lovely. I used to be a fan of the sort of collar, but this one it just works perfectly. Little button popper sort of front, and on the back, the absolute maniac, Diego Costa. Of course, we signed him from Atletico, and he'd done some great stuff there. So I remember when he first came, and I bought the shirt within the week, put it on, and then his start for Chelsea was pretty special. I think, what was it like? 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, or something like that. He was just on form. He was insane, but he was, it was for those, I think it was 2 seasons at the club. He was a sensation. I mean, you couldn't understand what the hell he was talking about, and he would always skirt that line of women thinking he's going to get sent off or something stupid. But you can't deny that he's not a world-class poacher. Recently he's gone down a little bit, but for those times at Chelsea, I don't think there would be any defender that would have relished coming up against him. He was top class. Next one is this one from 2015-2016. So it's Yokohama, and it's this season. I don't know what it was, but they're just all fading away. Must be like poor transfers, I guess. Of course, we've got the gold patches because champions. And on the rear, this one is Pedro. So of course we signed him from Barca. Apparently we pipped Man United to his signature Of course, whether or not those are true, you will never really know. And when he first came, he was great. I think he scored or got an amazing assist in his first game or so, and he's performed really well. Performed really well. He's of course just left now this last season, and the last season his legs have gone a little bit. But technically, I mean, of course, he was part of that Barcelona team. He's technically sound. His ability to pick out a pass, take a shot, the way he kills it into top corner without sort of any sort of real effort. Yeah, he's touch of class. Touch of class. So the second last shirt I have is this 2016-2017 one, and it's another sort of luminous edition. So when that appeared, I was like, okay then, we're going to buy that one. Not quite as obnoxious and in your face. It has this lovely sort of grey horizontal stripes running across it. And on the back we have Mr. Kante. So Kante, of course, came from Leicester, who had won the Premier League, and admittedly, even though that Leicester were in the news a lot, I didn't really watch all that much of them. And Kante is one of those players where, of course, it was Vardy and it was Mahrez. They're the ones that stood out, but Kante was the one, of course, destroying the opponent's possession and breaking it up and regaining it and starting it again. So when he first came to Chelsea, I was like, okay then, let's see what he can do. And my God, he is something else. We've had some great players in that position, Ramirez and Essien and whatnot, but I think it'd be difficult to say that he's not the best. Makelele, of course, can't forget that. He just doesn't stop running. And it's quite funny, I wear this shirt still and always wear it when I go out running myself. I like to run, and I just think Kante may inspire me to run that little bit faster and a little bit longer. Whether or not that happens, probably not. And the final one is 2017-2018. It's been a while since I bought one. Again, like I said, it's been a kind of hectic few years, and to be honest, I think the next few years are probably going to be similar. But enough of that. As you can see from the patch, I never really wore this because whoever put these patches on, or whatever quality they were, I think I got it from like Sports Direct. They just come off, and it's the same with that one. It's not as bad, but it's still loose, and it's really disappointing because I think I must have washed this twice, and it's just fallen apart. So that's disappointing. And then on the back, we have Marcos Alonso. I don't think you'll see many people with Marcos Alonso on the back, but I do like to go for these obscure, less popular players. Alonso is, he's one of those players that you love to hate, I guess. Certain Chelsea fans really, really despise him. For a period, I really, really enjoyed seeing him play. As time has gone on, I feel like probably is due for him to move on, and obviously we've just signed Chilwell, so that's pretty much him signed, sealed and delivered to wherever he's going to be going. But for that period when Conte used him as a wing-back, him and Victor Moses of all people, that was a pretty potent attack. He's never been a defender. He's always been the one where if it's a goal conceded, it's a set piece or something, you can usually assume that he's lost his man, or he's lost a bit of concentration. Like, he's not a bad player, he's not a defender, which is kind of hard because he's also not a winger. He's just a wing back. But I can see him working out well again in maybe Italy, if that's where he ends up going. I think he could probably fit into some of the formations there. But that's it. Of course, I've got a few seasons that I've missed and I need to catch up on. I remember last season the away shirt, I just couldn't find it. All sold out. I don't know why. The design was just white. There was no particular reason why it would have been sold out as it did, but maybe it'll pop up at some point. But yeah, that's the away ones. Of course, just the third lot to go. That's where I'm going to have some more really interesting players in the back. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it, if you've obviously stayed to the end. If you're any Chelsea fans and you've got some comments on some of the players there, let me know, and maybe if you've got some of them, tell me who you've got. But I will thank you for watching. I have a video coming out on Friday, as always. My shirt has been shipped, so it should arrive Wednesday, and I can do my video and let it out, and you can see what I have. So thank you again for watching, and until next time.